So you downloaded a ton of Megascan assets and you want to be able to use these in Uefn, at least to some extent. There is an issue with it. I will go over that later on in this video, but you want to use something like, let's say, a tree here, like right here, Megascan trees. I have the European here, the black alder ones, beautiful looking trees. So let's say you want to go ahead and use this tree, but you can't actually import that with Fab in Uefn. You have to actually do it a different way. So the best way that I have found, now if some people y'all found a better way, please leave a comment down below. Best way I found to be able to do this is add this to an actual Unreal Engine project. I called this one Uefn, so this is just anything that I import in here to do this. I will add it to my Uefn project, and of course it'll take a little bit of time to be able to add everything in here to Uefn, and I'll get back whenever it's done. Alright, so now that it has been added to your project in Unreal Engine, all you have to do is go ahead and go to what you have, and then you find what object you want. Now, I want this one right here, this black alder tree right here, beautiful looking tree. It'd be great inside a scene in Fortnite. And what you have to do, it's real simple. All you have to do is right click on the item itself, go over to Asset Actions, and you want to migrate the asset. So you go ahead and click on Migrate, save the selected on here, and then hit OK right here. So now you have to choose a slot where to actually save this asset, and of course you go to wherever your Fortnite projects are being saved. And I'm going to go ahead and go into Shipwreck Cove, which that's the one I'm working on, my racetrack. I called it Shipwreck Cove. I was going to do something else with it, hence Shipwreck Cove. But I decided to change the map itself. So, but we're going to be going ahead and into plugins, Shipwreck Cove, content, and this is where all your stuff on here. As you can tell, I've already imported the European Hornbeam in here, but let's go ahead and select a folder. So we could go ahead and create a new folder here, and this one we'll call Black Alders, so that way we know which one we're doing. Go ahead and select that folder there, and then you will go ahead and just hit yes on here, and it will copy all these files right here of this one over into that. So that's all you have to do right here, and let's go ahead and jump into Uefn now. Alright, so now we have loaded up my Uefn project, Shipwreck Cove, and as you notice, I have some trees that I have imported in here, but this is not from Megascans. This is actually from Sketchfab, so I will also do a tutorial over that if y'all want to. But yeah, so let's go ahead and pull in the Megascan here for the Black Alder. If you notice, it's right here under my Shipwreck Cove content, right there, real easy. So that's the great thing about it. It's all right there since you do that. We have the materials, we have the textures here, everything, decorations, imposter, the tileable, the trunk, the two-sided, every single one that you'll actually need going forward here. So let's go ahead and bring in the Black Alder right here. So bring in this tree, and this will take a second to be able to load this in for the first time. Okay, so the Black Alder tree has been loaded in now, and if you notice, it's not quite right whenever it loads in. This is one of the issues with loading in some Megascan objects. Everything pretty much breaks, like all the materials will break on it, and you have to pretty much reapply all the materials, or kind of create the materials as well, from all the textures that they do provide you on here. So there's a whole bunch of textures here, and this is what you'll be using to be able to, remake the materials and be able to apply the materials onto this tree itself. So let's go ahead and get started on all of that. So right here is all the materials right here that you'll be connecting onto this tree. If you notice, none of them are on there, and here are the materials here for this. But now the issue is, though, like let's say we want to go ahead and, use this one, or the decoration tileable, the trunk one. We could go ahead and go onto that, but the problem is if you double click that to take a look at it, nothing shows up. It literally, and then all of a sudden the textures disappear off of it. This is what I was talking about, where the materials pretty much break, and it works off of any of them, like pretty much any of them you click on, it just, it goes away. There's nothing, that's just how it's going to be. It's just going to completely break and stuff like that. So I suggest going ahead and opening up a different area, like right here. And what you're going to be doing is right clicking, and then you go ahead and click material, because you got to create your own material here. And let's go ahead and name this one of them, one of the things, which was the trunk. So you could pretty much copy the names of all the other materials on here. So if you do go onto these materials that are right here, you can copy it, like the trunk. Would be the leaves ones. Then there's the tileable decoration and all that type of stuff. So if you want to, you can, I guess, make all the materials in here. So that way it's all in one area. So you could just pretty much name this one trunk, and then hit that. And let's go ahead, and then we go ahead and make another material. Let's just call this one the leaves, just because this will be, so I know it's the leaves on here. That's what the two-sided one is. It's considered the leaves there. And then how about we go ahead and make another material and just call this one a decoration, so for the decorations there. And we'll just keep that one all the same on here. So let's go ahead and make this one tileable. There we go. And the last one is just the black alder one here. So we'll go ahead and make that one defaultly right here. Just call that one the black alder, just so we have that name right there. All right, so the next thing you're going to be doing is just choosing one of these that you just made and go ahead and double click on it. So let's go ahead and do how about the tileable one? We'll just double click on that one right there. And this will bring you up into this area that you're going to be creating this texture, creating this material from the texture. So since we clicked on the tileable one, go down to your textures here and click tileable. And there you go. They have three things. Just drag them all three in there. It's real simple. Just drag them all three in there. And just keep an eye on the names of them, on here. So basically, if you notice right here, this is the albedo one, the mask, and the normal. Basically, this one always connects to the top base color like so, just because that's the default base color. The normal, can you guess where the normal is going to be here? Let me go and zoom this out a little bit so I can zoom in. Can you guess where the normal is going to be connecting? Yes, right over into the normal. And this one right here is called the mask. This one right here is the mask. Now, the mask is a little bit different. This is actually going to be you need to set up a mask for everything. So what you want to do is make sure you're either not clicked on anything, or you click on this one and you come over to the blend mode over here and click masked. And okay, right there. And so basically that will give you the option for opacity mask right here. So that means whenever you connect this one to it, it will go ahead and provide a mask. If you notice some of the texture parts are missing, so it provides a nice little mask onto there. And that's all you have to do right there. And then you're going to go ahead and hit apply, and you're going to go to the next one. If you notice, I went ahead and there's this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to trunk next. Let's go ahead and grab the trunk stuff right here. So I need to minimize this a little bit because I need to be able to click on things down here. So let's go to the trunk right here. So here's the trunk. We go ahead and set that one up at the top. That one connects to the base color right there. Real simple. There's the mask right there. We'll get that one set up afterwards. And here is the normal right here. So there's the normal. So the normal, naturally, you connect it to the normal. Click on that, or just click nothing at all on here. Make sure nothing's selected. Either one, it doesn't matter. And then you want to go ahead and move it over to mask right there. Now, you can, of course, do stuff like the two-sided, but that will come later with the leaves whenever we're setting up the leaves. But right here is the mask. And so this is for the trunk. On here for the mask, so it can actually, have a little bit of nice materials there. But let's go ahead and apply that right there. Okay, and we have applied that, and now we go ahead and we have the trunk set up. We have this tileable set up, and the next one that we're going to need to do, go ahead and jump in to the leaves here. So the leaves are a little bit different on here. This one, the leaves are called two-sided. You could choose summer or winter because, they come with both. But let's go ahead and jump in to this and get this thing set up. You can go ahead and pull them all into here. And then, of course, base color right there. This one is the mask, and here is the normal right here. So the thing that you're going to have to do with this is it's a little bit different. Of course, go to mask, so that way this normal opacity mask will show up on here, and you can go ahead and connect that onto there, and that's fine. But the thing is that you're going to want to do here is do two-sided, select two-sided, because since they are leaves, there will be two-sided, and also the shading model, you can go ahead and select two-sided foliage there as well. So that way that is covered. So they are covered on both sides of the thing. You go ahead and hit apply there, and you exit out, and there you go. Now you have the leaves are covered right here. So let me go ahead and finish this off. I'll do the decoration of the black alder one, and we'll get back to you. Okay, so now that you have completed your materials, the black alder one is actually something you don't need to worry about that. So don't worry about that. Just these 4 materials are the ones that you're actually going to really need. And you're going to have to make one more, which is an imposter material. So if you notice, there's 2 of them here. You got to at least make the field 1 imposter material. So basically, we go through the same thing, and I'm just going to call this one imposter underscore field underscore 1, just so I have that. I'm just not going to have it say MI on the front, just so I know this one is mine. And you're just going to go in through the imposter textures here and do pretty much the exact same thing on what you're going to be doing. So the difference on this one though is that if you notice, there's a summer, a winter, a summer, a winter one here. So basically, if you want naturally the summer stuff, you just pull in the 2 summer items that are here. It's pretty simple, nothing too complicated. And you're just going to pretty much do the exact same thing as what you would normally do. Alright, and so what I did on this one was actually have the normal RGBs connect to the base color. We had this one right here connect to the normals. And this bottom one right here, A, connect to the opacity mask here. So of course you got to change this one to masked right here. And I'm not really sure, honestly, on if this needs to be 2-sided foliage and stuff like that. I guess it won't probably hurt. So let's go ahead and just throw that one in there for fun. Okay, and so now that you've gotten that done, what you're going to need to do is go ahead and double click on the tree itself. And if you notice over here, if you click on it, it brings up this area over here, which personally, it's nice. But that's not exactly what I want to bring up. What I like to bring up is this, and it shows the actual full thing, and it has the slots right here. Now, in case if you're like, okay, which slot goes on element 0, element 1, and stuff, you can always open up your Unreal Engine, object and everything, so you can actually see, okay, this is going to be the trunk is going to be the first one. Tileable is going to be this element 1, 2-sided element 2, decoration element 3, and then the imposter element 4. So you can always bring up the, Unreal Engine version of it. So that way you're able to actually see exactly what you want. What a perfect time for an autosave. Okay, so now you basically just drag the trunk, material in the trunk spot. And then next we'll be going the tileable, and then the leaves and the decoration, and then the imposter. And I'll get to back whenever this loads fully in. So there's that. Now the tileable one goes into there. Then the leaves are next right here. Look at that. See, it's already starting to look pretty good. And then the decoration right here. And of course, then we go into this imposter part right here. So if you notice, if you're looking in on the trees, doesn't it look a whole lot better? But wait, there's an issue. One thing I did not realize whenever doing this is that some of them, like the bark, even though it has a mask and stuff, you don't necessarily want to put it in there. I realized this earlier, but I wanted to kind of show my mistake on here. So if you notice the bark on here, this right here, this one, which is, let's go ahead and bring in the trunk here, which is the mask that's pulled into right here. So if you notice that I put that in the opacity mask, I don't think you actually are supposed to do that for the bark and stuff. That's mainly just the leaves, I guess, so that way the leaves can be see-through, because if you don't do that with the leaves, I could show y'all what that looks like there. So if you do the bark right here, it of course will look drastically better, like actually what it's supposed to look like, and it's no longer looking that. Now, the problem is about if you don't do that with the leaves, if you don't put the one bit with the leaves, the mask and the opacity mask goes. So let's just go ahead and drag this over into roughness, and then let's take out the opacity mask here so it's like this, it's not opaque on here, and let's apply that, and let's go ahead and now take a look. If you notice, the leaves have this extra, all the extra little bits that are around the leaves all right here, so it doesn't quite look right. That's the reason why you need to do that with the actual leaves themselves. Make sure you have it on the opacity mask right there so it's just nice and easy, and make sure you hit apply, go back to it, and look, the leaves look fantastic, and overall the tree looks great, you know, right now. So that's great. Look at that. And I know I probably also made a mistake, yeah, on the trunk itself here. I did the same thing. I went ahead and put it in the opacity mask, which that's not what I was supposed to do. Put it into roughness there. And then apply that. See, even I'm making mistakes, but you know, it's one of those things you kind of want to mess around and see what works and what doesn't, and you know, and just try some things, get used to it, get used to everything. I'm still new to this. I just figured this out, like after spending a lot of time. So I'm still learning some things of what I need to do. So that already looks fantastic. Now, the issue with bringing in Megascan items into Fortnite, there's a big issue with doing that, and that is the memory consumption. Now, if you notice, I brought in some of these trees right here from Sketchfab. Now, these trees, there's quite a few of them here, not a whole lot, but my project size is at 10% the last time I checked. You know, so the 10% on here with just these amount of trees, because they have a lot more texture, a lot more polygons and everything like that. It's a lot more intense of a thing. So I'm sure there's a way you can reduce that. I don't know it currently, which I'm looking up that type of stuff. And if I figure it out, I'll of course come out with a tutorial. So let's go ahead and jump in and launch a session. So we could go ahead and see where that project size jumps up to when we actually launch a session. All right, so here is the issue of importing Megascan objects into Uefn right here. If you notice, these assets are a bit too big because the Megascan objects are highly detailed. So you're going to have to pretty much get the texture is just, file is enormous and stuff on here. So that is some of the issues about doing that. And sometimes whenever that happens, it just won't load into, like, it won't work. Now, I have had it before where I have actually, you know, run a session and the trees did load onto my map, and I was able to play it and everything like that with those trees. But that it used up a ridiculous size of my overall project size. Like, I think it was up to like 24%, and I only had 3 trees on there. So this is one of the issues with Megascan. So I don't know of a way. I'm sure there is a way that you can reduce the file sizes and everything like that of Megascans, or just don't get Megascans. There's other amazing trees, like especially on Sketchfab and stuff, like, you know, you could get free trees, you can get, you know, ones that you could pay just a little bit of money to be able to get a huge collection of stuff. But these trees right here that I have are pretty detailed trees. They look great. And, you know, and there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of different types of them. I think there's like 6 different types of trees on here. And yeah, they're fantastic trees as well that you can go ahead and, you know, put into your maps. And they don't quite look as good as the Megascan ones, because the Megascan ones are super detailed. But of course, you can load them into your game. I can't actually load it into the game because this is too much. It's too much. It can't actually load in. So that will be it for the, you know, this tutorial. Now, this may actually work if you have a lower, you know, like a, you know, a not quite as insane Megascan on there, like maybe a smaller object or something like that, not trees that are super detailed like this. So that's one reason why I wanted to make this tutorial, so that way people who do bring in some Megascan objects in here, they can go ahead and do that, and this is how you actually do it. Or if, you know, Epic updates Uefn, where there's more memory size, it's able to handle more stuff, and so you can actually bring in more Megascan assets and everything. Because if you can actually bring in some Megascan assets, like, I mean, it's going to be crazy if you're capable of doing that. Because look at this tree. This tree looks incredible right there. So, yeah, I'm in the process, in case you're wondering, this creating a nice little dirt bike track. I'm going to try to change the grass and everything. I'm trying to change everything so it doesn't quite look like Fortnite. It'll still look a little bit, of course, but, you know, not entirely like Fortnite and everything. So, you know, thanks everyone for coming out. I hope this tutorial was able to help y'all out if y'all do want to try importing some Megascan stuff into Uefn. So I hope this helped you out. Subscribe for more. I will be doing instructions and tutorials over importing these Sketchfab stuff, like these trees that I have here, because you do a pretty similar thing as to the Megascan stuff, except you don't have to go into Unreal and, you know, migrate it out of Unreal to be able to get it into here. So yeah, if you notice right here, look, if my project size is now 29%. It just got done. Project size is 29%. So this one tree brought it up. What was it? I can't remember. What was the project size before? Was the project size 20% before? Or was it 10% before? I think it was 10% before. So it brought it up like 19%. This one tree brought it up 19%. It's pretty crazy. Oh, and it looks like it actually did work. And then there's the tree right there. You can see it's awesome. Like the tree looks great, but it's super taxing on if you want to do, you know, stuff like that. But you know, the thing is though, you can always have these objects that are in here, like just have one single centerpiece object around your map or something that looks super detailed and stuff. If you want, like, you know, something really cool, like let's say you're only going to have one tree on a map. And you have, you know, like a broken city or something like that around it, and you want to have some nice Megascan objects, so you don't really necessarily need a whole bunch of trees or anything like that. But yeah, it overall still looks awesome in here, so it does actually work. It does jump in there, but it sometimes won't actually work. Like, so it's a little complicated sometimes. Like that first time I did it, it had trouble loading in, but the second time it actually loaded in here, because that, honestly, that looks so good. Like, I love the look of this tree. I just wish that, you know, I need to look up to try to find a way to lower its, you know, I guess, I don't know, it's polygon. I have no idea what to even say for that, because I'm still really new to this, to make it just less taxing on here. So thank you everyone again for coming out. Sorry for the ridiculously long video on here. So but thank you again for coming out. Expect more tutorials over things once I figure them out, and subscribe for more stuff, and I will see y'all in the next one.